Alright, listen up everyone. They've announced that the technical regulations are changing for next season. Now there's a risk a lot of our hard work could be undone if we're not careful, so let's figure out how to mitigate this. Drivers, take a look at the developments we have and let us know what you want to invest in protecting. Alright everyone, let's get on top of this.
Well, there it is. It's official. The regulation change has been set for Season 7 of Career Mode. But guys, welcome back to a brand new episode of my modded Career Mode here today. And this is the Singapore Grand Prix. If you guys missed round 14, the Italian Grand Prix, Ferrari's home race, of course, then go watch the episode, guys, by clicking the link in the top right-hand corner of the screen to go see exactly what happened in front of the Tifosi. But today, we are here at Marina Bay in Singapore. And you can see on screen, we have a chance of rain in the race, which is going to make things very exciting. Seems like not too much rain, so it could be a pretty interesting period where maybe we're on the inters for a little while, then back into the dries, or we might even go into the inters at all if it's very light rain. So we'll see how that one pans out. Either way, in terms of the R&D graph, no teams have brought any upgrades this weekend, and things are probably going to stay like this now for the rest of the season, I'd say, if I had to guess, because of course the regulation change is going to be happening, and it's going to be affecting the aerodynamic department, as you can see on screen right now. So overall, it's not too bad. I expected a lot more, to be fair. I thought maybe all 4 or at least 3 departments would have been hit, but instead it's only one of them, and it's the aerodynamics. And of course, you know, us personally, I will be leaving Ferrari at the end of the season. You know, I've kind of mentioned this before, but 2 seasons for me is kind of enough at a team. I want to try and win the titles with them. At the minute, we're looking pretty good for that, but I want to do one more season on this career mode, and I want to go to a new team for the final season. But that aside, we're now going to move into qualifying here today at Singapore, and you can see on screen, no rain, of course, in this session, as it's dry conditions under the beautiful night lights and the circuit lit up in the streets of Marina Bay. But first of all,
right, a little bit of an electrical problem at the moment. We're working on it now, so don't worry. We're going to get you out there as soon as possible.
So yeah, not the best possible start with a delay in qualifying and some electrical issues, so it's not going to help. In qualifying though, we went for 2 runs, and my best run was my first one. So we're going to run on board here for a full lap of the Singapore circuit here at Marina Bay. There we go, out the final corner, up to the line, opening up the DRS, and we go P1 with a 1:30.8, and it's a massive lap time from us. But having said that, it wasn't over just yet. We went for another run at the end of the session, and you can see on screen we went purple in sector 1, but I completely misjudged the turn 14 right-hander, and I went straight on, and unfortunately got my braking all wrong. Luckily for us, Verstappen is not on a lap, so it looks like we are going to hold on to our first place. And actually, I've noticed in the last couple of races, a bit of a trend where the AI only go out for 1 run, maybe 2, but there's never any cars out on track at the end of the session, which is really, really weird. So I'm not quite sure what happened, you know, here today. Either way, I'm not going to complain. It is going to be another pole position by less than a tenth of a second over Max Verstappen, who was really damn close, and both of us really pushing to the limit in terms of the lap time. We've got George Russell in 3rd place with Danny Kvyat P4 in the 2nd Ferrari, and then it's Sergio Perez in 5th, Charles Leclerc 6th, Sebastian Vettel behind them with Carlos Sainz alongside, and then Magnussen and Gasly run up the top 10, and then further down we do have Alexander Albon P11, Lewis Hamilton 12th in the Racing Point ahead of Valtteri Bottas and Antonio Giovinazzi on the 7th row. Then it's Norris and Hulkenberg on the row behind them, with Ricciardo and Raikkonen. Kimi having a pretty poor qualifying there down in 18th place, with Stroll and Grosjean rounding out the top 20 here today. And that is your grid for the race here at the Singapore Grand Prix. Right lads, here we are, P1 at Singapore, and to be fair, it's looking pretty good for us. You know, if we can hold on to the lead into the first corner, we've got a bloody good chance of winning this. Having said that, I'm strapping up because this is going to be a very long race. Singapore is always the longest race in the calendar in terms of time duration, and you know, with a bit of rain as well, it's going to make it even longer. So it is what it is. We just got to try and put up with it. I just hate doing this race because it's so damn long and it feels like it never really ends and the laps tick over so slowly. But in principle, the team recommends to go for a 2-stop strategy here today. I might go for a 1. We'll see how we get on. Either way, the softs are meant to only last 6 laps around here. And the rain should be arriving soon. Currently, as we speak, there is no rain on track. We've got 32 laps of fuel in the car, so 1 extra lap of fuel. And yeah, we're going to see when this rain arrives. It might be in the first couple of laps, who knows. But for now, the target is simple. Hold the lead to the first corner and then try and manage the race. So let's jump into it and let's see if we can win here at the Singapore Grand Prix. Right, here we go then. Let's build up the revs and try and get a good start here as the lights are on. Lights out and away we go for the Singapore Grand Prix. And it's a good start from us. We get off the line really well. Russell looking around the outside into turn 1, but we're going to just put the squeeze on and we stay in front of Verstappen down to P4. They're momentarily battling away with our teammate Danny Kvyat, but crucially we hold on to our lead. Russell's behind us, so we know we've got more pace than him. The car feels very fast already. It feels really sharp. Let's see where this rain is first of all though.
We're expecting the rain to hit us anytime now. Dries seem like the fastest tyre at the moment.
Okay, so the rain any second now, so we'll keep an eye on the weather. For now though, it's a 1-4 for us. Kvyat has dropped down a 4th place. Russell 2nd, Verstappen 3rd. Let's focus on trying to open up a gap and try and get out of DRS range, because in mixed conditions, the AI tend to be better than me. So I've got to try my best to pull away and open up a gap if I can. Oh, getting really sideways there on that curb as lap 1 draws to a close. Very good sector 3 from us. Opening up a gap, currently 1.2 seconds to Russell. This is perfect. Let's try and keep it going and keep pushing before the rain arrives. One more lap like that, we should be okay. Once DRS gets enabled, we should be over a second clear. Oh, here we go. First raindrops are coming down. Alright, let's see what happens here, because my gut instinct straight away, when I saw the weather forecast, I'm thinking to myself, it might be one of them ones where we stay on the dry tyres, but I could be wrong. It might get very wet. The car is already starting to slide, so we'll see how it progresses. For now, though, we're staying on these, and also we've got to take it a little bit easier now as the track is starting to get greasy and a bit more slippy. I'm going to put the inters on there just in case. I'm going to select them. Picking up a little bit of understeer there.
Okay, entering lap 3 now. DRS has been enabled.
Gap is 1.8 to George Russell as DRS is now enabled. The rain is starting to fall now quite heavily. Let's see what the weather forecast is.
ETA on this rain clearing up is about 10 minutes, so just keep your concentration out there. Dries seem like the best tyre for now.
I think we may be staying out on these. I've got a feeling it might just be trying to hang on the dry tyres in these conditions. Verstappen makes a move, or trying to anyway. They're battling away, him and Russell. This is again better for us to pull away. It allows us to open up the gap even more. Track is getting very slippery though. Oh, got to be careful. Track is getting worse.
The tyre situation is an interesting one, but I think the right call is to stick with what we've got right now.
Yeah, it's definitely still dry tyres, that's for sure. But it is getting worse. The car's starting to slide mid-corner.
The track conditions aren't improving. It's your choice as to whether you want to fit the wets next time you come in.
I'm okay for now. DRS is still enabled, that's normally the sign. Oh, just got to be careful. Russell and Verstappen lost a heap of time battling on that last lap, so our gap has gone up quite nicely, but the track is getting very delicate now.
Check your MFD for a new strategy option. Understood, copy that.
There it is, the intermediate call. Now the question is, because I'm going to be the first car, do I respect it and go for it? Or do I stay out? I think I'm going to pit. The track's really getting poor. I think we're going to box this lap and play it safe. Be on the right tyre at the right time. That's the rule of thumb in these conditions, when it's changing weather conditions. Yep, DRS disabled, there we go. That's the sign. Let's nurse it back to the pits if we can. Oh my god. The track has lost all forms of grip. Just got to nurse it back to the pit lane. We're going to get held up an absolute treat, as will Verstappen. So hopefully if we can get served quick enough, I might just rejoin in front of the traffic, whereas Verstappen might get held. But it has to be a perfect stop from the pit crew. Here we go. Easy on the lockups. It's a slow pit lane as well, for good measure, 60.
No longer sure that these tyres are the right ones. It might be time to come in and change.
Russell and Kvyat stay out. Interesting, I thought they'd stack. Here we go.
Go, go, go.
Crucial timing there. We do just get out in front of Verstappen, gets held. He's been held for ages. Everyone's going by. Verstappen's still in his box, and now he's been released. And that is the difference when you've got the lead and you hold first place. We had just enough of a gap, and now Vettel's behind.
Okay, you only have to stop once now. One stop left.
Sebastian Vettel's the net car behind us in the Mercedes. Now, I believe is a net P2. So that is beautiful for us. Strategy's worked out fantastic. And the gap we had at the start, just that little 3 seconds we pulled out, was crucial to get the clear space on track. And let's try and switch these tyres on. I tend to struggle in these conditions. The AI are much better than me, so we're not out of the woods just yet. I've got to try and stay focused and find some pace. We won't be on these tyres for long. Right, we're catching up to Ricardo, but he's going to box now, so we shouldn't get in our way as we just brushed the wall there, but luckily no wing damage. Kvyat pits in the other car.
Daniel is in the pits. Daniel in the pits.
Just trying to find my confidence in these conditions, but we are going to take back first place comfortably. We're going to be miles clear of everybody else. And I believe Vettel will be net P2 in the Mercedes as we go on to lap number 6. And there we go, Verstappen P3, he's behind Sebastian Vettel now. So again, another chance for us to extend our lead whilst those guys battle behind us. I'm driving phenomenally, I'm really driving well, the pace is fantastic. Half a second quicker than Vettel in Sector 1, half a second quicker in Sector 2, which is a second so far this lap, and Sector 3.
It looks like we'll be running on the dry track soon. Back to dry shortly.
Yep, I'm waiting for it, but Sector 3 is our strongest sector, so we should be even faster. Let's see what the gap is. 8.3. Wow, another 8 tenths in Sector 3. Verstappen can't get by yet. He's struggling to get right on the back of him, so this is good for us. We're really pulling away now. I'm just debating my strategy options, whether I'm going to pit for a medium tyre once we go back onto dryers, or go the hards and go to the finish. Those are the two options I've got. The guys behind are losing a heap of time. The gap's now 9.9. I wonder if maybe Vettel and Verstappen both have wing damage. They're holding up loads of cars behind them actually as I look on the minimap. So maybe they both have damage, or maybe at least Vettel does, I'm not quite sure.
New strategy is available on the MFD. Okay, copy that.
Oh, I thought I was going to be to pit now, but it's the next lap, so we'll stay out for one more.
In this lap, push now.
I really can't make out what's happening behind us. I think Vettel may have wing damage. But Verstappen must do too, because Verstappen can't get by, and normally Verstappen's quite good at overtaking. You'll see now on the crossover. Wow, the AI are pitting for dry tyres, I think. Looks like we might lose some time here, boys.
Daniel is coming in for his stop.
Right, we're going to have to do one more lap. I'm going to be one of the few cars that does an extra lap on the inters. Right, we're going to pit. Easy does it. Pretty good lap, actually. Even though the rain's completely stopped now, the track's almost bone dry. It's been a good lap from us. No real like spinning the rears or locking up. It's been very tidy from us. And again, not really overcommitting. We're going to go for the medium tyres. Play it safe.
Go now.
We'll stop 2 seconds flat pretty much. And we've got one more stint to go on the mediums. We might be able to stretch it to a pair of softs. Maybe I do have a fresh set of softs remaining. So we could run those later on, seeing as the inters have prolonged the first stint a bit. Here we go then, let's rejoin. Let's see what the gap is.
Okay, stay clear of the white line on the exit. We'll receive a penalty for dangerous driving if you cross over into the track.
Okay, so Seb's crossing the start finish right now. I feel like we didn't really lose much time there, to be honest with you. I think we've done okay. And crucially, Verstappen's still behind him, so we've got a chance now to re-extend our gap as the track has now completely gone back to dry conditions. Still a little bit slippery, but we should be okay now. So head down and push. Try and open up the gap once again. Right, we're up to speed now. Let's try and push on. Gap was 4.9 in Sector 1. Up to 5.8. Pace is good, but Verstappen again still can't get past Vettel. And the cars are bunching up behind them once again slowly. Verstappen, Vettel battling away now. It's going to cost them more time. Looks like Vettel has managed to stay in front though, crucially. The car just feels unbelievable. It's just pointing wherever I throw it, and also the back end is responding to it beautifully. What a lap, 35.4. Everything's just working perfectly. I can't be touched around here this weekend. Seems like whatever it is with the car and the setup is working beautifully well. Verstappen still struggling to get past Sebastian Vettel. Again, that just confirms to me that Max does have wing damage, because you saw how quickly he got past George Russell, and he can't seem to do that with Sebastian. So, yeah, it's looking pretty complex for him at the minute. They're still going at it. They've been going side by side for ages now. They're losing a heap of time. This is really letting us pull away, but Verstappen seems to have got the move done. He's up to P2. You can see a massive train of cars behind them. So we'll see how Max progresses now, but I believe with wing damage he's not going to get very far. An even better lap coming up from us. Into the 34s. Really strong pace. That's going to do it now for me in high engine mode. I'm going to kind of cruise now in standard engine mode. We don't need to use the engine any more than we need to. Again, we're trying to make it to the end on these components of the season, so if we can save a bit of the engine, we will. Okay, the gap stayed at 10.2 across all three sectors on the last lap. We was only 4 tenths off my personal best in standard engine mode, so maybe Max doesn't have wing damage, but he was really struggling to get by Sebastian Vettel. Either way, he has now been released. He's matching my pace, so this is more what I expected from Max now.
Right, some information on Hamilton. They're retiring from the race.
And Lewis is out. First retirement in the racing point. As we approach halfway distance, no safety car VSC, so we continue on as normal. Strategy stays the same. Pace is good, very consistent. That's kind of where I'm at, really, with standard engine mode. And Max is matching it pretty much. The gap is floating at the 10-second mark. Sometimes it's 9.9, sometimes it's 10.1. It's kind of floating, but me and Max are identical pace, just like we were in qualifying. I'm just starting to struggle on my rear tyres a little bit. I don't have the same confidence in certain corners, and I'm having to just take it a little bit easier. Like there, the back end's just getting a bit loose. The gap's slowly just trickling down to 9.5, but we're looking okay. Just got to try and get this to the pit stops. I'm going to overrule and not go for the soft tyre. I'm just going to go for another set of mediums, play it safe. We'll box around lap 20 and keep Verstappen behind, just keep the gap and maintain the pace because we're very similar. Okay, Max in the pits. He's going to get a 1 lap undercut on us. That last lap for me was pretty poor. 1.4 off my personal best. That wasn't good. I'm struggling a little bit with my tyres now, but we should be okay. No need to panic. Right, here we go then. We're going to box now. This is a terrible lap, my worst lap yet. Just really struggling for grip. 1.5, almost 1.6 off my personal best as we go into the pit lane. Just don't overcommit too much. There we go. Turn the engine down. Right, nice easy stop from the boys. No issues, please. Thank you very much. Come on.
Exit now.
Perfect. 2 seconds, bang on. 2.000, even faster than the first stop. So we'll take that. If we can rejoin in P1 clean out, I'd be happy. Hopefully no one's in front of us and we can enjoy the open space in front. Looks like Gasly is going to get us. Possibly Kvyat.
That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops.
Right, so P3 for now, behind our teammate and Gasly. Surprised Kvyat's so far down. Not quite sure what's happened to him in this race, but looks like Verstappen stuck behind a McLaren further back. So he hasn't been able to really use the undercut as he would have liked. So there we go, job done. Pit stop's finished. Net race lead, 10 laps to go. Let's just cruise to the finish now. Hopefully these two guys in front pit this lap. Hopefully both of these guys will box and get out of my way and also give me DRS on the pitch straight. Oh, looks like they're both staying out. Interesting, different strategy from these guys. Kvyat is going to have DRS on Gasly here, so we can't make the pass just yet. This isn't good for us because we might lose time. Giovinazzi behind is staying out as well as Max sets the new fastest lap, 34.5. I want to try and beat that if I can. Let's try and get past Kvyat here first of all. Right, he's going to get a better exit than us, that's okay. We're right behind him though. Let's use the slipstream. We're struggling to get alongside. We're on the outside though of our teammate. Nice move. A little bit off the track, but that's okay. Had to leave him some space. Now let's get past Pierre Gasly if we can. I wonder if these guys are going to the end. If they are, fair play. That would put Kvyat right back into contention, but I'm not quite sure he will be going to the end. I think they're going for a set of soft tyres. Let's get past Pierre. Good thing is Max isn't catching because he's stuck behind Giovinazzi, so he can't really make up the fact I'm stuck behind traffic here. Let's see if he pits. No, he stays out. Okay, let's build up the momentum. There we go. DRS into turn 1.
Not going to be able to run in this engine mode much longer. We're about a lap over target. Drop down to mix too soon.
Easy move on Kvyat, and then an easier move on Gasly. So job done, we get past both of those guys. Let's get our foot down now and try and retake the fastest lap. Use up the engine mode we have left. That's why I saved it for this last stint, to try and score the extra point for the fastest lap, which now Charles Leclerc currently owns. So let's try and beat that. Here we go, into the final corner. Throwing the car in, giving it a full commitment. This should be a new fastest lap, and it is. 34.0 as Kvyat and Gasly pit. Verstappen retakes P2. We're half a second up already though, because of the overtake on Gasly on the last lap. There should be an even better lap into the 133s hopefully. A little bit wide there, but that's okay. Head down, let's push. Gasly and Kvyat onto soft tyres. Romain Grosjean out the race. In the Toro Rosso, second retirement. Confirmed here today. Trying to keep focused though, because I'm on an absolutely phenomenal lap here. This is going to smash the previous fastest lap and get us well into the 33s, possibly into the low 33s. Let's give it a bit more commitment through here. I can do a bit better. There we go. That's better. 7/10. 7/10 improvement.
Be aware, there's an incident in the next part of the track. No overtaking through the yellow flags.
We drive by the stricken Toro Rosso, and that is me done now pretty much in terms of my fastest lap pace. I ain't got much more in the tank than that. That was a pretty solid lap, so we're just going to run it default engine mode now. If Verstappen gets close, we'll turn the engine up. If not, then we'll keep it as is, try and save the power unit a little bit. Oh, there goes the fastest lap. Kvyat takes it away. A 0.1. I can't compete with that. I know it's only 0.2 quicker, but my tyres are a bit older now, and also that lap at the time felt really good, so we'll have to concede it. Hopefully it does stay within the team. Verstappen has begun his big final push. As always, the AI in the last couple of laps turned the engine up to 1,000 and try and get the fastest up of the race. So Verstappen is going to cut the gap down. It's currently 6.8, which is still quite good from him considering it was about 10 seconds before the final pit stops. So he has cut the gap down quite a lot, especially with the traffic I had. But we're still okay. I'm not really too concerned. I think we've still got enough in the tank. Although it does take out half a second in sector 3, which is my strongest sector. So quite impressive from Max. We'll keep an eye on it. If it does get a bit close, we'll turn the engine up ourselves. Here we go, into the final sector now. Verstappen pushing hard, gap now inside 3 seconds, but I've been cruising, to be honest with you. I've not had to turn the engine up, so we've saved the engine. We've got a full ERS charge and plenty of fuel left over in the reserves. That's fine, it makes a change for once not being on the limit, as much as always. But here we go, into the final corner, and it's been an absolute domination here, and a masterclass as we win the Singapore Grand Prix. Yes!
Great job, you've done everything we wanted today.
That's a fantastic performance from Ferrari. It hardly looked in doubt. What do you think it was, Ant, that gave them the edge over the competition today?
Well, I know it's a bit of a boring answer, but the truth is they simply had the best speed package on the day, and a driver who knows how to take advantage of that. It doesn't matter how much time you spend poring over the stats and planning strategies if you can't keep the pace, and our winner today showed they could do both.
Here come our winners now. A thrilling race and a tremendous effort by Ferrari. Their history is well known, so it's no surprise to fans the world over to see them come out on top once again.
Ragazzi, grazie. La macchina è stata fantastica, una gara fortissima, and we deserve the 25 points here today. It's a massive statement in the championship. Kvyat finishes P7 in the end, my teammate, after that pit stop. But Max Verstappen is in second place, 1.9 in the end. Sebastian Vettel P3 for Mercedes ahead of Magnussen in a really strong P4 for Renault once again. Charles Leclerc P5, Pierre Gasly in sixth place ahead of Kvyat, with Russell down in P8. A really poor race from him in the second Red Bull. And then we've got Giovinazzi and Sainz rounding out the top 10. Hülkenberg misses out on the points, along with Perez, Stroll, Norris, Raikkonen, Albon, Bottas, Ricciardo, and then Grosjean and Hamilton retire from the Grand Prix here today. But after that race, the championship looks good. We have 2 race victories worth of points on Max Verstappen. 50 points is the gap heading into the final 7 races, I believe, or 6, no, 6, I think it's 6 races if I'm not mistaken. And we've got a very nice lead, so at the moment we could wrap this up with 2 races to spare if we keep this going. Sebastian Vettel up to P5, overtaking Carlos Sainz and Sergio Perez there in the Mercedes, doing a really good job in the second half of the season since returning to Mercedes, or should I say joining Mercedes more like. And also Magnussen up to P9 as well with his second 4th place of the season, overtaking Hamilton. In terms of the constructors, we are 76 points clear of Red Bull Racing, and again things are looking good in that championship as well as we head into the final few races. The next race though is going to be the Russian Grand Prix, guys, at Sochi, so I'll see you guys there. But that is going to be it for the Singapore Grand Prix here today, guys. If you enjoyed this episode of Career Mode, I'd appreciate a big fat like rating on the video, and also subscribe if you are new for daily Formula 1 content on the channel, and also turn on notifications to not miss any content from me, guys. You know, that might be F1 or MotoGP or Assetto Corsa or online racing, who knows, whatever it may be. But hopefully you guys do tune in for the ride, and yeah guys, check out these 2 videos on your screen if you have missed them. But that is it from me here today at a phenomenal Marina Bay circuit, and I'll see you guys next time for the Russian Grand Prix. But until then, it's goodbye from me.